Hello, cats and kittens. Odewa Jose Yoroshko. I am back in the Crisis Corner on Manga Monday with the hype for One Piece 1150. But really, this is more or less my impressions on 1149. The hype is off the chain for various reasons, and I'm going to list them. But my hype is probably a little bit different than yours because I am super excited to see something that we have not seen in a long time. First of all, let's run down the list. Uh, where we stand at this point. What is the fate of Saint Summers? He's pretty much been bisected, decapitated, whatever you want to call it, by Scapa Gaban. It looks like he's done for. I don't believe there was a panel of him speaking after he got the big cut. So I'm assuming those were lethal strikes and he's done. I believe. If that's the case, then it seems that the God Knights can be eliminated, sent off this mortal coil by a skilled enough opponent using some manner of haki that we have not seen to this point. It begs a question in my mind right now, exactly how strong was Summers compared to the other Gods Knight? Was he a mid-tier Gods Knight? Or was he a bomb or what? It seemed like his devil fruit was pretty strong. But he got took out quick. And Scapa himself said, he's getting old, but old people in One Piece are constantly saying that, and they're constantly breaking people down like it's nobody's business. So you got to take that with a grain of salt. So the final fate of Saint Summers is up in the air. Next, the fate of the Elbath Library. It looks bad. Killingham has set it alight. It's burning, and it would just be tragic to see the same scene of O'Hara played out again on Elbath, but I don't think that's going to be the case because the fire started, and even Scalper said, as he was taking out the trash, Summers basically, that if he finished it up, if he got rid of Gunko, that he could have saved the kids, saved the library, and everything would have been straight. We know where that went, but it seemed like everything could have been put right under the right circumstances. So there's a chance that I'm pretty sure that the library is not done for. I don't think it's over because that would be horrible. I would not want to see Robin or Saul put through that again to see that library burn down. But I don't think that's in the cards. But it's on the table. The final fate of the library is up in the air. The children are still in danger. The kids are still being marched around by Gunko, depending on what happens to her. But they're still in danger, and you still have Killingham out there creating his illusions. So there's a degree of danger still to the children. What's going to happen to them? We have the final fate of Scapa Gaban himself, who seems to have been badly damaged at the very least by Gunko, who was using his child as a hostage. He had no choice. He had to, or he had no, he didn't really have a choice. That was his kid. And he saw with observation haki that if he was not going to be able to move fast enough to take Gunko out, so he did what any father would do to protect his child. He took the hit. So it seems like he took the L. He's not dead because he needs to train the monster trio up, at least Luffy and Zoro, because they can use Conqueror's haki. Train them up as to how to use that haki to damage the God's Knights. So we believe. But we're getting back to that. Okay, so the fate of Scapa Gaban himself, the connection between Gunko and Brook. Apparently, they've known each other in the past, amicably. So what's that about? You know, that's in the air. Clearly, they knew each other in the past. So how so? All right, there's that. Emu's connection to the Gods Knights and how he was able to gain control of Gunko. That's in question. Does he have some sort of telepathic control over them? Because we saw the situation with the eyes turning like Emu's eyes and him speaking through her as if, whatever. How does that work? And what does that mean? Is that specifically for her, or is that ability that he can use on any of the knights? We have to find that out. Um, where are Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji? A lot's been going on. They're nowhere in sight. What are they doing? I mean, we know they were feeding Loki and trying to get him back up, but he's not going to be in a tremendous uh, amount of. He shouldn't be tremendously useful in a battle that, given all the damage that he took. Now, where are they? Uh, they should know that something is going on the upper levels. The Gods Knights were masking their hockey when they entered Elbath. Or we assume they were, therefore, only Scappa was able to notice their entry. So there's that. But at this point, when Scappa was attacking Summers, he was going all out and he wasn't suppressing anything. So they should know that a tremendous amount of hockey flared up on the upper levels, and they should be wanting to find out what happened to their crewmates. Because if somebody dangerous is up top, doing all kind of shenanigans, they should want to get up there and find out. So we should assume that they're on their way, which kind of works out because Scopper's dropping to the lower levels. They're probably on the way up. We know Sanji can skywalk. He might catch him on the way down. We know they might have one of those gondolas that fly through the air. Maybe they're using one of those. But Scopper can be caught. That's not a problem. But where are they and why haven't they arrived yet? That's up in the air. And when they get there, uh, of what without Scopper there, what can they do? Because we know from Egghead that Luffy can't damage a one of the elder Gorosei, no matter how hard he tried. Nobody could. And the same seems to apply to the guys' nights. So, what exactly will they be able to do if they get there? They can help. They can definitely help and improve the situation. And even from a few chapters ago, it seemed like I think it was Summers or Killing. I think it was Summers basically made a statement like they didn't want to get into a fight with a Yonko. Okay, so there's some level of apprehension of going up against a Yonko or a Yonko's crew. So they're not on the same level of the Gorosei, but they're still a problem. What can they do about it? What can the monster trio do about these cats when they get to the upper level? That's up in the air. Who is attacking the Holy Land? Maurice or whatever. Who is attacking it? Is it Blackbeard? Is it the Revolutionaries? A coalition of the two? Another party? You pretty much figure it's the Revolutionaries because they've been setting that up for a minute. Blackbeard could be involved because Blackbeard is Blackbeard. He's an opportunist. He might be on the way to Elbaz as far as we know. He could be anywhere. That's how he rolls. But the thing that has me hyped above everything else, is my man Tony Chopper. For the last two chapters, we've been seeing that he has something cooking. He's been watching. He's actually took off right now and is trying to figure out something that can help defeat the God's Knights. Can we see the return of Brain Point Scope, which he has not used? I swear he has not used it either since Drum Island, I think, or Alabaster. He hasn't used it since the time skip for sure. I believe Drum Island. And that is like one of the most useful abilities that he possesses. Brain Point, hyper intelligent, he can use scope to suss out the weaknesses of an opponent. Now, that comes with a caveat. We don't know to what extent Chopper, what his working knowledge is of hockey. Because if it is if hockey is the only thing that can damage the God's Knights, he can't use it. Would scope help him to pinpoint any way to get around the abilities of the God's Knights that doesn't involve hockey? Or if it does, would he be able to notice it? Even if he couldn't do anything about it, could he pass that information on? We assume that that information has to come from Scapa Gabara to give to Luffy, Zoro, and possibly Sanji. I don't know. But Chopper is not heading over there for no reason. He's going to figure something out. And the man has not been useful in a long time. I don't care what you say. He has been a plushie for the last 3, 4 arcs. He hasn't. Yeah, I'm saying is plushie Chopper has not really busted a grape in a long time. He hasn't been a threat to anybody maybe since Ennis Lobby. Or I'll give him credit. Maybe Fishman Island. I'll give him that. He actually fought on Fishman Island. He hurt somebody. Now, yeah, he did get into a little dust up with Queen, but that wasn't his fighting. We know that. You know, that was just a preliminary until Sanji got over there and took care of his business. He has not done anything in a long time, and I'm waiting for this dude to rise to the occasion, put in some work, and solve a problem. And I want to see Brain Point Scope come back. That's where I'm at. That's where my hype is. Now, you tell me, let me know your comments. Do you want to see the return of Brain Point Scope, and do you want to see an end to this losing streak that my man Chopper, who is one of my favorite Straw Hats, has been on for quite a while? That's just me, but you might see it different, so you let me know what you think. But I think we're going to see the return of Brain Point Scope, although I expect to be terribly disappointed. Anyway, let me know what you're hyped about in the comments. Looking forward to this chapter. In a couple of days, we're going to get more spoilers and more hype. But I want to see my man Chopper rise up. That's all I got for Manga Mondays. Hope you enjoyed your whatever manga you're reading. And until next time, stay loose.